Please excuse any mispronunciations by TTS. The English TTS has trouble with non-English words. But, if you watch Zentreya, you should be fine. As a result of YouTube's rules pertaining to links in descriptions. DC every Batgirl in chronological order. Melody McCready. The 17th of September, 2024. The name Batgirl has existed in the DC universe for over 60 years, with multiple women donning the cape and cowl to bring justice to Gotham City and beyond. While Barbara Gordon is the most famous, having multiple comic book runs and has been adapted into animation, video games, and television series, multiple others have carried her legacy. In the comic book multiverse, not only have there been Batgirls that have simply been given the torch, but alternate realities and time travel have given fans glimpses at alternate versions of the character. Some have gone on to be just as iconic as Barbara Gordon, while others faded into obscurity, for better or worse. 9. Bette Kane. The forgettable sidekick to an already lackluster superhero. First appeared in Batman #139. Created by Bill Finger, Sheldon Moldoff. Often forgotten by even long-time fans, Bette Kane, aka Batgirl, was the sidekick of the first Batwoman, Kathy Kane. Both characters would end up being dropped by writers, and later, Batwoman would be reimagined into Kate Kane, Bruce's cousin and famous representation of the LGBT+ community, while Bette Kane would lose the Batgirl moniker and be given a new one. Flamebird. As Batgirl, Bette was Kathy's niece who discovered that she was Batwoman and was determined to be her partner in fighting crime. Neither character left an impression on readers, so most people forgot that Bette Kane was the original wearer of the Batgirl cowl. 8. Barbara Gordon. Still the definitive Batgirl among fans. First appeared in Detective Comics #359. Created by William Dozier, Gardner Fox, Carmine Infantino, John Ostrander, Julius Schwartz, Kim Yale. When the Batman series starring Adam West was at its peak, a new character was introduced in both the series and the comics, Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. This debut was impactful, as Batgirl appealed to female viewers and readers, adding more demographics. On top of that, Batgirl stood out because Barbara never had a sad backstory to turn her into a hero. She's always just felt it was the right thing to do. Since her first appearance, Barbara Gordon has evolved into one of the brightest minds in the DC universe and a tenacious fighter for justice and a great ally for Batman. Even when a tragic event rendered her without the use of her legs, she became an expert hacker and information broker known as Oracle. However, she is still mostly known for being Batgirl, and for good reason. She's smart, witty, cunning, and heroic. 7. Helena Bertinelli. No Man's Land turned Huntress into a Batgirl. First appeared in the Huntress #1. Created by Paul Levitz, Joe Staton, Joey Cavalieri. When Gotham City was practically destroyed by an earthquake, resulting in the No Man's Land storyline, Batman needed all the help he could get. Helena Bertinelli, more known for being Huntress, temporarily ditched her purple suit and crossbow to wear a Batgirl uniform. Helena felt that Gotham City needed to see the Bat symbol to feel hope, and she even made a new suit that would be passed on to Cassandra Cain. Batman is so impressed by Helena that he is willing to let her keep the Batgirl name and suit, as long as she obeys his rules. Sadly, Helena breaks the rules almost immediately and she quickly returns to being Huntress. Some fans have been curious how different the Bat family would be today if Helena had stayed as the permanent Batgirl, since she was effective in the cowl. 6. Cassandra Cain. Contender for the best version of Batgirl. First appeared in Batman #567. Created by Kelly Puckett, Damian Scott. Often considered on par with Barbara Gordon, Cassandra Cain was born and raised as an assassin by two of the most heartless killers, David Cain and Lady Shiva. They raised her to be the perfect weapon, even to the point of damaging her body so that she couldn't see faces and was mute, but she still managed to come out a good person in the end. Cassandra Cain escaped her old life, not wanting to hurt innocent people, and was eventually adopted into the Bat family. For a good while, she was the new Batgirl while Barbara was still operating as Oracle. Some fans have even debated whether Cassandra was the superior Batgirl to Barbara Gordon before she took on the more distinguished moniker of Orphan. 5. Harley Quinn accidentally proved she could be Bat family material. First appeared in Batman, the Animated Series Season 1, Episode 7 Joker's Favor. Created by Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Boyd Kirkland. Only for a couple of issues, starting with Harley Quinn #10 in 2001, Harley Quinn disguised herself as Batgirl to hide from criminals who were hunting her. However, this caught the attention of Barbara Gordon, who rightfully was not happy that her moniker was being besmirched by Harley Quinn's antics, resulting in Cassandra Cain and Tim Drake hunting Harley. However, despite selfish intentions, Harley Quinn, with her gymnastic fighting style, proved to be effective as a Batgirl. It gave fans just a taste of what would come in Harley Quinn's future, because she would later become an ally of the Bat family and a famous anti-hero for Gotham City. 4. Stephanie Brown. From failed Robin to worthy Batgirl successor. First appeared in Detective Comics #647. Created by Chuck Dixon, Tom Lyle. Known for having a multitude of aliases, Stephanie Brown is the daughter of the famous supervillain Clue Master. Stephanie stepped into the superhero scene as a vigilante/informant known as Spoiler. However, Bruce Wayne saw her potential and originally recruited her to be the first female Robin in the canon timeline, but it didn't stick, so Barbara Gordon took Steph under her wing. As a result, with Barbara Gordon as a more patient teacher, Stephanie became the third Batgirl to have her solo comic run. She had the wit and intelligence of Barbara with the edge and fun-loving nature of the Robins, allowing her to have a strong run as Batgirl. That changed when Barbara Gordon returned to action later on, resulting in Steph returning to the Spoiler name. 3. Charlotte Gage Radcliffe. The first Batgirl to also be a metahuman. First appeared in Birds of Prey #96. Created by Gail Simone, Paolo Sequeira. Before the DC Universe rebooted with New 52, writer Gail Simone introduced a new Batgirl, who never got the chance to be fleshed out. Charlotte Gage Radcliffe began as a Batgirl, breaking out into crime fighting on her own before the Birds of Prey took her in and Barbara was able to train her properly. What sets Charlotte apart from all other Batgirls is that she is a metahuman, with the ability to teleport, regenerate, and use magic. This is what led to Barbara convincing Charlotte to later give up the Batgirl name, and she became better known as Misfit, who never got the chance to be rebooted when the New 52 started. 2. Tiffany Fox. The youngest and brightest Batgirl of an alternate future. First appeared in Batgirl, Future's End #1. Created by Len Wein, John Calnan. Trading yellow for pink, 12-year-old Tiffany Fox was introduced as Batgirl in 2014 during the Future's End storyline. Since Tiffany is the daughter of Lucius Fox, she inherited much of her father's genius intellect to go along with her martial arts abilities. Tiffany would go on to appear as a major character in the game made by Telltale Games, Batman: The Enemy Within. If players made the right decisions, Tiffany would eventually evolve into a precursor to Batgirl, who assists Batman. If Telltale had been able to make a third game, she likely would have officially become Batgirl for that universe. 1. Nyssa. A street-level vigilante of the cyberpunk future. First appeared in Batman Beyond, Vol. 6 #12. Created by Scott Peterson, Annie Wu. The first ever Batgirl beyond of the neon-lit cyberpunk future, Nyssa is a fiery young student trained by an older Barbara Gordon to continue the mantle. However, Nyssa keeps her jurisdiction small, focusing mainly on protecting old Gotham from criminals and corrupt cops, since Batman Beyond is rarely seen in her area of Neo-Gotham. While Nyssa was given a nice showcase, having her saving Barbara Gordon, her tenure in the comics was disappointingly brief. Batgirl Beyond was only featured in a handful of comics, and since then, Nyssa has yet to return, despite fans enjoying what was presented with the character.